Okay, so welcome to session number 69, or as it is, our season 4, episode 12. It's part of the storyline, as I've got the alternate episode guide reference that I'm adding in there now. So, tonight online we have Jeremy.
Good evening all. This episode of the Crack campaign, I'm playing Corda, the half-human, possibly returning something to elfish at this stage, just half-human, fighter, warrior of Sandpoint, would-be hero of Sandpoint, although still trying to come to terms with who he actually is right now, because the moonlight's helping, but yes, he's not back to his elfness yet.
Yes. He still might have the elf run out on him.
That's right. The ears are getting slightly more pointed again, but they still have a lot of roundedness to them.
Okay, so also online today we have Josh.
Hello, I'm Josh. I play Harry Potter, the buffest wizard known to man. Harry's a half-elf, half-dwarf wizard who always believes that doing things from the front line is a good idea. Currently covered in a lot of jewellery, like to be decked out at all times.
What's the worst that can happen?
What's the worst that could happen, exactly?
Also online today we have Mark.
Hello, I play the lovable dwarf rogue, not the most lovable rogue, just a lovable dwarf rogue. So I can't do the buffiest thing. So, but I'm playing Sparky, who's a nice rogue that tries to help out where she can, but seems to get herself more in trouble than actually solutions. So yeah.
Again, you could, be selling the party's fortune in coins for your amusement.
Oh, I could. I thought about it, but I haven't done yet.
And just getting in on time is David.
In time, on time, win time. Hello, I am David. I play Balath Silvertongue. You guys are all claiming to be the buff and the coolest and the nicest. Yeah, no, I play the biggest, the second biggest arsehole in the party.
So, as the second biggest, who do you put down as the biggest?
I'll give you 3 guesses.
The puppy.
The fact that Jeremy started giggling may tip you off.
The puppy.
No.
But everybody loves Corda because he's so wonderful.
Uh-huh.
A hero of the realm, or hopefully will be.
Yep. He's a hero in his own, a legend in his own lunchbox.
And he's hoping to be a legend.
And he's hoping they rename Sandpoint to Corda Town.
He recognises he's not there yet. He's got a lot of work to do.
Right. He's got to realise how bad the world is before he can say it.
Well, and obviously at the moment he's got the disadvantage that he's lost half of himself. So
that's hilarious.
I'm sure it's just misplaced.
I forgot. Balath was having a crisis of everything.
Yep. So not only was one character having a crisis, multiple characters were having a crisis of faith, belief, everything. Okay, so
maybe it was the elf half of Corda that made him nice and naively wannabe hero type one. So maybe he'll be.
Yeah, maybe we'll swap. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that'll happen. That'll be awesome.
We shall find out. So who remembers what happened last session?
I just remember that Balath made his life after last session.
Well, the party had gone down to Roderick's Cove from Riddleport.
They had.
When the other members of the party, such as Harry Hoffer, had explained that they had unfinished business down in Roderick's Cove.
Harry Potter, has Mike been playing in this campaign?
Is it a Perry Hotter?
It is Perry Hotter.
Yeah, okay.
It definitely is Perry Hotter.
Yeah.
That's why he's known as the buffest wizard known to man.
Buffest wizard known to man.
And so we got there, we found out that apparently they'd been tasked by a morose elf or Drani to help discover or help eliminate certain rogue elements within the town, the Hornfang, the Extinction Order, and the Road Wardens. And the Road Wardens were probably the easiest ones to actually look into first. So we've gone into the forest with a friendly fairy lady who had just another Vancaskerkin in the middle of the forest.
So
None of that sounds like something the Belloc would do.
Right, okay. Core and I were going to pay half attention at the time as well, because he had half the mind at the present time.
So yes,
Yeah, the better half.
you had travelled into the forest to deal with the road keepers. You had a few comments of what had happened last time the other guys had come through here, as they reluctantly told you of their exploits.
Their failures.
Well, that's why I said exploits. And let's see, you had.
They met this extra Vancaskerkin previously.
They had met this extra one previously, and she had helped them,
Okay.
which was nice.
So when she comes across us in the clearing, it's not immediately drawing swords to start combat.
It is not immediately drawing swords and start combat. So we're just checking to make sure if that's Victor letting me know he's actually awake. Okay, so you are woken to the sound of music and realise that the group of you had fallen asleep because a person who was on watch also fell asleep, as they're now an NPC.
Who was supposed to be on watch?
I'm going to say Doozer.
So we're waking to the sound of music, was it?
You are woken to the sound of music.
He said, and what sort of time of night is it? How long have we been sleeping?
It is dawn.
Oh, okay, right.
What direction does the music come from?
The trees above you,
I look up
off to the side.
the side.
You see a human with a pretty looking hat.
Well, if it's a case of me woken to the sound of music that was unexpected, then Cordar will actually roll from his sleeping mat and have his sword drawn.
As he realises the sound is coming up above one of the trees and not at his side, I'm sure he relaxes somewhat, but not hugely.
Well, that just means that there's not instantaneous attacking right now. He's got time to grab his shield as well.
So she called.
Do I recognise this music player from our last adventure?
You do. You recognise her as Lullabby Vancaskerkin.
Ah, yes, Vancaskerkin. She was the Yep, job every night.
She was the road keeper who helped you find the way to the Kobold Caves and rescue the dwarves, because that's what you wanted to do at the time.
Yeah.
Did you know she was a road keeper?
I don't believe we did.
Because I'm just saying that if you did that come up when we said we were going to go and take out all the road keepers? The fact that you befriended at least some of them, or one of them.
You did get told that you had befriended two of them, one being Lullabby and one being a dwarf with keys in his beard. The guy who helped you who you got the gauntlets through.
Yes.
So you've befriended the rogue element that we were supposed to eliminate. This might have been useful information to have talked about before we went to their planet to kill them all.
And you had found out that they were also Pathfinders as well. Another bit of useful information that you did find out while you were talking to the dwarf all that time ago.
Yes. Many sessions ago. So you guys are Pathfinders in the Road Keepers? Or they were Pathfinders?
They are Pathfinders infiltrating the Road Keepers.
Alright, so yeah, exactly, yeah.
And are we assuming that you told us this beforehand or not?
Well...
Or that no one in the party remembered what they were doing?
Once everyone waits until he's going to realise who it is, then yes, I would tell the party.
So basically you'll say, hey, don't stand down, she's a friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good, because I didn't want to do acrobatics roll to give a hug. So. Okay.
Okay, well, Corda will relax his stance somewhat, but basically allow Harry to take the lead if he said that she's a friend. He'll wait for further introductions and information.
I will thank Vancaskerkin for the lovely tones to wake us up.
She slides down the tree and says, well, considering you were snoring quite loudly, she was surprised it woke you up.
Yeah.
Corda will look at Deuce and lead towards Doozer.
Yeah.
Dooz is still sound asleep cuddling Poppy.
Yeah.
Corda will go and kick Doozer awake.
You beat me to it.
Doozer screams out, 312!
300, okay.
Well, we don't do lashes here for falling asleep on duty.
I don't think it's lunch.
Was Jews recounting sheep?
No, Jason was counting down the days I have to live.
Well, so, what is Harry saying to, what was her name, Lullabby?
Lullabby is her name.
Yeah. I asked her since last we met has like a lot changed and
Well, not as many passerbyers come through the woods from the town, but plenty seem to come up the coast from the Sandpoint region, just not through the woods.
yeah.
So pickings have been rather slim.
Pickings have been rather slim.
And since you eradicated the settlement of Ravenmore,
Well, nevermore.
well, it is not there anymore, so yes, you are correct. There's been a lot less trade going out that way as well.
Yeah.
That- And that leaves Wolf's Ear being the most closest settlement beside Roderick's Cove, but the only one not to have Hell Knights. But you know what? It's got werewolves instead, so pretty much fucked whichever way we go, she says. Demon insects to the east, Hell Knights to the north, and werewolves to the south. Where would you go?
Hard.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah, I see how that could be quite a bad hand you've been dealt.
That's okay. My roll with them's almost up anyway.
Speaking of which, I did understand it. You are with the road keepers.
With is such a strong term.
Well, slightly confused about the situation because Harry and his friends here explained that the road keepers were one of the forces of Roderick's Cove that had to be eliminated, and gave no mention that he had friends amongst the road keepers.
Yeah, Parry doesn't like to share much. I'm sure you haven't noticed that yet.
Personally, I find he shares way too much, but
Visibly of himself, yes, but of those he wants to hoard to himself, he seems to want to hoard a lot of stuff.
So basically, yeah, he's looking towards both of them for further story, and possibly I can assume the explanation of that it's been inserted there from the Pathfinders to do that. Okay. And you're saying that your goal with them is approaching an end?
Well, she's assuming you're here to get rid of them.
Good.
She'd hoped that you'd have done it at least 6 months ago, but the guys then were a little bit greener than they are now.
God, I was about to say that if I can't believe that they actually did spend time with them back in Absalom, so...
We were very green.
They also had a lot of breaks. Bad breaks, mind you.
So... Do we know exactly where they are at this stage then? Are they in a position that we can eliminate whoever's left of them?
Aren't they holding down like a shack or something deep in the woods?
They are at a Stonehouse camp deep in the woods.
That's what it was, Stonehouse camp.
You mean further intelligence that you knew about already, but you didn't talk about as to how we're going about this process?
Oh no, we did talk about it, but they wanted to go to the kobold where the dwarves were, and not to the road keepers.
Oh no. That was called out directing towards Parry, saying, so yeah, we just wandered into the forest. We had the impression we had no idea where we were going in the forest, but you know exactly where they are.
We know not really exactly where they are, because last time we came through here, I think we got a bit frightened off by the things that popped out when we straight off the path, I believe.
The grave ghoul thingy.
Yes.
Or as we call them, the trail gaunt.
So you're saying that you arranged this meet up with Lullabby and Vancaskerkin as the inside intelligence to lead us there?
She would have an understanding of where they are, yes.
Well, my lady, Are you able to lead us to the location of the roadkeepers so that we can end your duty?
That really depends on how capable you guys are. And girl, she says, looking at the dwarf.
What would we be up against if we were to eliminate them or remove their threat?
Well, there is Mother Nightrush. She is a witch. I'm sure you're quite skilled at dealing with them, aren't you?
We have dealt with magical threats in the past, yes. And I suspect some threats a lot more scary than a witch.
She's the scariest one there.
And does she have much in the way of underlings?
She has probably about 20 or 30 other road keepers under her, depending on how hungry or infuriated she is.
And if we were to, so I guess, how far away is this? What was it? Stone Shack? How long would it take us to get there?
Shouldn't take us about that long, she says. I'm just looking down at the actual distance as they say it in the book.
Okay.
Because the map doesn't actually give directions. And again, they don't describe how far away it is. So I'm going to say it's at least a day's walk into the forest.
Okay. And are we expecting all the road keepers to be there, or are there likely to be some that we might meet in the forest on our way?
She's the one posted this far out, so you shouldn't expect to see any other ones this way, but there might be others sent out in other directions.
Is it, how many are likely to be at the home base then, if we were to hit during the day?
If it hit during the day, probably best time is at dawn when half of them are eating. So you should expect there to be about, on average, 20. If you're lucky, there'll only be 5.
So would they, if people are sent out into the forest to collect, I guess, do they normally stay out overnight, or does everyone normally come back again for the evenings?
They can be gone for up to a week or more. She's still got a couple of days before she's supposed to be relieved by a couple of guards.
And so, how many are likely to be out on taxation duties at any one time?
Normally between 10 and 20 on taxation duties.
And so, with those out, there's still likely to be 20 at the forest, at the Haven, or?
She has about 30 all up, so.
Okay, yeah. And have they got much in the way of defences?
They've got this old Thassilonian tower. That has no external defences on the tower, though.
Do you know of where any others in the forest might be along the way? It may be worth attempting to find smaller groups before going to the main thing, or do we? Is it likely that if this witch of a name?
The witch, she does have a name. Mother Night Rush.
Mother Night Rush. If we're able to eliminate Mother Night Rush, would that actually effectively deal with all of the road keepers? Or do we have to eliminate them all?
If you get rid of Mother Night Rush, the rest of the Night Keepers should pretty much wander off on their own. She's the one holding them all together.
So they're unlikely to be a force if we can eliminate her. So, and just confirming for my purposes, Martin, the Cordar as someone who grew up with Koya as a travelling merchant caravan type person, and the general laws of Varisia, to go down Sandpoint, Magnemar type way. Whilst we're not necessarily recognised authority around Roderick's Cove and anywhere really, but is summary execution an appropriate punishment for outlaws?
It is an acceptable punishment if you capture them and can't take them to civilization. Because capturing them and tying them up and leaving them to die of exposure is probably worse than just killing them.
Yep. Well, that's actually no, because I just remembered, technically he does have some legal authorities, at least around what is it? Down Crimson Crownway.
Corvosa?
Corvosa, yes, that's what I think. I just thought I should get the map of Russia out rather than the map of the known world. Yes. But again, I expect that the authority in Corvosa does not extend to Middleport and Godric's Cove.
Well, Corvosa is almost as far from Roderick's Cove as you can get, and still be in.
And recognising that, in a lot of ways, if Varisia was formally divided into separate countries, they would certainly be three different ones.
Yeah, and me just looking at the map, there's only one settlement that is further away than major settlement than Corvosa, and you don't know where that is at the moment.
Yes. So, well, I would think then that it's appropriate that we keep moving as quickly as we can directly towards the Stone Haven, and therefore, if we, rather than trying to deliberately capture and or eliminate those who are misguided followers of Mother Night Rush. So, if we can capture or eliminate her, then the others will see the error of their ways, and the road keepers can be disbanded.
Okay.
So Cordell could be keen to actually get everyone up and moving and headed towards this location. If Lullabby is happy to lead us there.
She is.
What was that going?
Well, it's over day holiday.
And then, yeah, certainly as we're travelling through, considering that Lullabby has got to be up the front, probably to help lead, Cordar will aim to converse with Lullabby and get as much information about exactly where we're going, what it looks like, what forces we might be up against, potential ways of getting in to see or capture Mother Night Rush without having to deal with all of the others that might be there. taking the secret passage down behind through the well or whatever?
Well, she does tell you that Dollard Regulor, the dwarf there, will be happy to assist you, as he's managed to keep Mother Nightrush at the place looking at the ruins, saying he might be able to find something useful in there, as he is a scholar of Thassilonian.
But he's actually working with you rather than he's only pretending to work with Mother Nightrush?
Rather than pretending to work with Mother Nightrush, because it's also a defensible position, so...
Is he the only dwarf amongst the group?
He's the only dwarf amongst the group.
Okay, well, it should be easy to actually recognise him amongst the, if we do have to face others then.
Dwarves don't really come this far. It's a long trek from Riddleport, and most of them want to spend their time around Yanderhof instead. They tend to avoid the middle of Varisia.
Okay, so when she says dwarf don't normally come this far, Cordar will take a look back at Sparky and Terry, but...
Yes, it'll probably be they're the rare and oddity, not the norm.
But I said...
Yeah, Jeremy, that's the... I just wish they wouldn't come this far.
So... Mother Nightrush is human,
Elderly human, yep.
and the rest of the road keepers are all human.
Mainly human. We did have some goblins in the mix, except they all picked up and left about a year ago. I haven't seen a goblin since, except for the one with the fairy wings.
Cordar privately grumbles about having missed the opportunity. So the road keepers are already somewhat diminished from what they were previously.
Well, they had an alliance with the goblins, but they weren't road keepers.
Okay. Well, the intent will be to probably get within an hour or two of travel from the Stonehaven or whatever it is, and then we can work on a confirm. Okay, is it better to actually attack it at night? Although Cordar's thinking privately that he's less keen on that these days because he can't see as well.
She repeats again that she thinks the best time to attack them is at dawn, because most of them are just waking up or getting ready for bed and eating, so not always near weapons.
And if we were actually able to come across them as a group without weapons, are they likely to surrender?
Most of them aren't stupid, though there are some dumb ones in there who will try to attack you anyway.
If we do have those that surrender, is there likely to be a place where we can quietly lock them up if we haven't dealt yet with Mother Nightrush? Or
there are quite a few places you can lock them up.
Okay. Well, so certainly on that case, well, if we were to, how close could we get before spending the night without likely being found? Do they be patrolling at night around the area?
A little bit, but there is a clearing of about 150 feet around the stone house. As long as you stay in the woods and don't light a fire, they won't notice you much.
Okay.
They light their fires too much at night.
And the clearing is all around the house?
It's all around the house. She sort of shrugs. It's not really a house. It's more the base of a house, but it doesn't really go more than a single floor.
Okay. But it does mean then that yes, we potentially want to actually approach just before sunrise, so therefore it's still we have the darkness to approach across the clearing.
And also the it does have 2 levels below ground.
Okay.
That's the ruin aspect.
Cordo will be aiming to at least get a bit of a map run out, or layout approximate of the place, and where we're expecting to find people if we did attack it at dawn type stuff, which is thinking half will be easy, whatever. Get an idea of where people might be located, sleeping, eating, on duty, on guard, all that kind of stuff.
Just bringing up a map now. It would be great if I could actually read the titles. Should give you a nice map to look at, Jeremy. Okay, so you've got the Roderick's Cove area. B was where the ferry is. C was where the tree was. D is where the
where we met up with Lullabby.
Where you met up with Lullabby.
Yep.
D is where it's also where they fought the Grave Ghoul, the Path Haunt.
Okay.
D on the map is where the goblins were based before they disappeared, and E is where the road keepers are. The middle of the section of the map there is supposed to be more of a valley, so either side of a valley. And then she describes the area where the stone house is basically a circle of wagons with a fire pit. Area where they prepare the food off to the side. Inside the house is a stairwell down into a level, which then goes down into another level, which is the main ruins of the temple. And that the half of it is in the goblin section, and the other half is in their section, which has a teleport meeting room. But the teleport meeting room was broken. Apparently, Parry and the others broke it on their last trip.
Right. So Parry and the others actually been down into the area underneath the house?
They recovered the gauntlets from F14 in the center.
Okay.
But they haven't been in the stone camp or the first level underneath it.
Okay. So they got into the F14 from the goblin side rather than from the roadkeeper side?
That's correct.
Right. Because again, when if it was coming up, Cordar was about to look accusingly towards Harry and Boozer again, and saying, again, not providing information that you apparently know.
You know, Cordar, perhaps if you shared anything we'd share it with $6 together, actually between half of what you earn.
So, you went up in there, David, but certainly the assist I got caught over saying, I've never kept intelligence worth important of in preparation for the battle prior to an event.
Well, that's assuming about had the intelligence to begin with.
It's always better to be forewarned and therefore forearmed. So, I'm assuming that basically, Lullabby is basically scratched out a bit of this stuff on the ground after we've set up camping or something like a cold camp for the evening. Did she talk about where we expect to find Mother Night Rush and where the eating area and sleeping area and things like that is, type stuff?
Well, she expects Mother Night Rush to be in area E2. Top level of the stone house.
Okay, yep, up the top there. Well, that's certainly convenient in the sense that it's less likely to come across any others then. If we can eliminate her first. So those that are having breakfast, we're expecting those to be having breakfast outside in the camp area?
Yep, sitting around the campfire.
Right.
With the big throne chair there being for Mother Night Rush.
Is she likely to be eating breakfast with them first thing in the morning?
She likes to serve everyone, doing the whole Mother Knows Best.
And you described her as a witch. Is any particular powers or attributes that we should be wary of?
Yes, she seems to be able to make people stand still or forget what they're doing. Which is quite handy.
It can be advantageous, I'm sure, but presumably if we can catch her by surprise, then that will be less effective.
It would be. She doesn't know much else of what she does. Though she's been known to protect herself with magic such that no one can hit her.
And is our friendly dwarf also likely to be up at breakfast at dawn time?
No, he normally doesn't come in until later in the day. Plus, he has the ability to produce his own food if he needs it.
Okay. So, if she's likely to be around the campfire or serving and around E2 type stuff, I would like to be able to approach the clearing and the campfire from behind the house. We get access to behind the house, so therefore we're not going to be noticed by people around the campfire.
Do you think she can lead you in, and if she's in front, most people are just going to see her and ignore you?
I'm also thinking the idea whether or not we can potentially take her by surprise and launch a surprise attack. And therefore, if we can wound her early, she may give up without further fight.
She can make a couple of you invisible while you cross the field. We'll get you at least a first strike with surprise.
So, Vanessa, we're not likely to be able to cross the field from behind the building?
Even with crossing the field behind the building, there's a chance someone may spot something, but
They're
less
likely
likely.
to have sentries covering to monitor for that obvious approach point.
But if they see her, they're less likely to do anything, and if you happen to be invisible while she was walking, she would be able to create the distraction that allowed you to sneak right up to the witch.
Of course, that would then make it more likely that Corda would have to actually go for the capture rather than the damage of the wounding or killing. So,
Well, they say while she lives, the other bandits will fight to save her.
so it's no point trying to actually effectively have a sword at her throat and threaten to kill her. They're still likely to actually defend, are they?
I believe they have been magically charmed, which is why she feeds them every day.
Now, and from what I've heard about the activities of the roadkeepers, if she's the one that's been leading them and encouraging their actions, or in fact potentially even forcing their actions, then she's definitely guilty and never presumed innocent.
Well, she plans out everything.
If you're able to make a couple invisible, that would certainly be advantageous. Potentially myself and I would normally say Doozer, but I'm guessing that Doozer's probably not all that active right now.
What about the rogue in your party?
That's right. I was saying if it was Corda and Sparky, and then Harry and Balath.
Don't express me.
No, then I can say, and then Perry and Balath can be hopefully apply their magical support and attacks from a distance, taking with cover from the building itself.
Well, I hate to admit it, Corda, but you're not going to believe it yet.
What you don't understand is that Perry will completely ignore you and still attack from the front lines.
Yes, Perry. Good, Perry.
Does Perry make this statement during the planning phase? Or he's got no intention of staying at the back?
No, he'll keep it to himself.
Okay.
He will have a slight smirk on his face, though.
Go, Mark.
The other option I've got a hat of disguise. That I could, that could disguise me as a goblin that used to be there.
Sorry to interrupt there, Mike. Martin, would you be able to just roll a perception check for me noticing Harry's idiot grin?
Sure. So that's either 98 or 89. Your choice.
In Pathfinder?
No, let it go. Yeah, just let it go, Jeremy. Don't worry.
I'm happy with that, absolutely. Okay. Or you could take the 1 and become the D20.
I'll take the 200 rolls. That's close enough. That's the top 90%-ish.
98 is certainly normally impressive, unless of course you're playing Warhammer, in which case 98 is really bad.
Yes,
Yeah. Or in the critical damage table that you're receiving, or critical injury table.
Yes.
Bella flies off Harry a little bit with a suspicious look. And gets ready to cast Count Person.
That's a bit much.
Harry gets to make an insight roll.
Insight roll.
Versus my deception.
Currently with disadvantage.
Brilliant.
And against deception, you've probably got a Kennedy challenge. I think insight is basically perception in Pathfinder, so.
So what is it?
Perception.
Deception? Okay.
Yeah. Can someone roll me a d20?
Want me to do it for you, David?
Yeah,
You can
let's
cost me.
get a 1. No, I can't. Let's go for it anyway.
How about a double 1? 11.
I'll take it.
Better than me, that's for sure. Got 15.
You fail. I don't even need to look at the stats that I'm looking at right now.
Okay, so Perry thinks that Balath is giving him a wink and a nod, not really paying any attention to what Balath's actually doing, which everyone gives Perry a wink and a nod.
Yeah.
He's assuming that Balath has interpreted what Harry was thinking, and that Balath wants to play along with it.
Yeah, no.
So Sparky suggests the idea of the goblin type stuff. Corda criticisms a bit of the concept, but also suggests that I believe all the goblins have gone. So,
Or we could say that our new friend captured a goblin and trying to bring him back to face Inquisition by the mother or something. Just thought I'd put it out there. It's an option, that's all.
was Lullabby actually sent out by herself?
No, but the other person had an accident along the way.
Well, I'm just say, depending upon exactly who the other person is, then potentially that could be the disguise. But I don't know how much you had a disguise around changes of...
Yeah, I need to do something my same height, so that's why I'm thinking of a goblin, that's all I'm saying.
As a goblin, you would be way too tall to be a goblin.
Okay, cool, that rules that idea then.
You are a dwarf, not a small creature.
Yeah, that's okay. I just...
So how would his height compare to the roadkeeper that did go out with Lullabby?
Well, she says as long as he dresses in these colours with this sort of look, which I'm sure he can practice with.
Disguise yourself as a Druga. Nothing could go wrong.
Why not go Drow? That's always fun.
Yeah.
That could work, maybe.
I'm sure Drow know best.
Just going to double check the hat spell, just make sure. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a hide, so it's been a while since I attempted to use this. So yeah, same body shape, yeah. So I only can kind of dress myself as a
Short, portly human?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can just be a dumpy human, that's fine.
I mean, again, the idea of it, the disguise has only got to last until we actually get close and
it's last 1 hour, so yeah.
and so if it can fool them for even a minute, that's likely to be enough. Because that also then allows Sparky to be in a position where she can be flanking with Cordar to get better advantage on capturing / killing Mother Nightwatch before she can do anything.
She says, well, or she could turn you invisible for 10 minutes.
Well, so certainly if Cordar will certainly take the invisibility. If it covers both of us at the same time, then they probably simpler again. But
Turns out it doesn't have to be sustained, but
okay.
Does one creature at a time, and she can do 3 invisibility spells maximum.
Okay. Well, it's probably easier for if you wish to the one invisibility spell upon Cordar. If Sparky's disguise is likely to work. I mean, I guess you can have a look and see if the disguise is going to be workable or not. If it's not, then we can go to invisibility spell just before we attack. But it'll save resources if we.
Is this something that one can potentially talk his way into? Sorry, I haven't been able to listen too much to what the plan is.
At this stage, the plan is that we're hoping to attack them at dawn while they're eating breakfast or things like that. we're hoping to be able to spot the leader, Mother Nightrush, hanging around with however many are actually eating breakfast at that time. Lullabby has offered to effectively walk in on the fact that she's been not necessarily expected at this time, but won't be too much questioned, and that she can cast invisibility upon Corner and possibly Sparky, or you can use how to disguise, whichever one works out the most appropriate and effective. And Corner has not tried to actually describe what sort of support actions that Balath or Parry can provide, except for the fact that they should come in on the second rank and take cover from the building to then provide range support as appropriate for those that are supposed to be behind the tanks.
Man, I could get so many eyes from this place.
Didn't you dump all the eyes?
I did.
Yes, and you got an infamiliar out of it.
Yeah.
So certainly, yeah, Corda's happy to have any comments or additions from Balath and or Parry as to what sort of actions they're planning on attacking.
I do have one. Would you by chance be interested in an extremely disruptive diversion that doesn't directly involve me?
In the
Let's
sense,
just say I could send some devils into the encampment to go do terrible things.
Potentially, if they could appear from the other side of our direction, basically.
They can just walk around.
Well, I'm just thinking of the fact that yes, if they were to appear on the other side immediately after Lullabby has walked up, as if they're attacking, and Lullabby just happened to arrive at the same time, and Lullabby and her friend, if Sparky is in disguise rather than invisible, then that will certainly help to take the mind of all the other road keepers and put them off in that direction, thereby making it more likely that we can grab Mother Nightrush without noticing immediately. Look across the Lullabby and confirm that I'm assuming the Mother Nightrush is not necessarily the type of leader that leads from the front.
Well, no, she's normally the one that leads from behind and runs away when things go badly.
Yes. So the idea being that...
okay, I have an idea. I will also be involved in the diversion. I will challenge the entire encampment. I will summon some demons or some devils and get them to attack the encampment and create quite a disturbing distraction.
Okay, well, that would certainly be fine. Effectively, yes, so you're coming from the other side at that moment in time. That would work quite effectively, because then you can actually time it based upon when you see Lullabby come in. You'll know that that's the start of the process. So, and then, yes, as soon as you see Lullabby start talking directly with Mother Nightrush, or talking to the others, you can then grab their attention in the opposite direction.
When she says, well, considering I can do 2 invisibilities, does this mean your pretty boy wizard wants to be invisible as well?
Well, is Parry also potentially valuable as part of the distraction side, or is he going to come up behind us as the backup on our side?
No, you use him to go destroy and let me just be a distraction. I plan on running away as soon as they get anywhere near me.
Hopefully, as soon as we can capture and eliminate Mother Nightrush, then the rest will all lay down their arms. So hopefully,
so the only thing that you need to be aware of is that it may be too scary for them and they may run away.
Well, that's certainly feasible, but again, if they then run potentially in multiple directions, at least the idea being that yes, they won't necessarily be running directly to defend Mother Night Rush at that moment in time, which hopefully by the time they realise they're up against something too big, Mother Night Rush will already be dealt with. So,
Sure.
So Corridor will look toward Carrie, and which side would you're happy then to stay on our side and provide the backup?
Yeah, I can do that.
Does probably want to be touched up and be invisible?
Don't need to be invisible.
Well, it means that your first attack will come from concealment.
No, okay, well, I don't
He's already going to be concealed because he's going to be staying back behind the house.
Bella interrupts. He's not going to say that.
Well, some spells require you to be in close to be effective.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Bella says to Corridor, he's not going to say that.
Yes. Are you happy to at least... Okay, well, in that case then, yes, if we can have the three of us all approach with Lullabby then, if the disguise spell of disguise works on Sparky. So...
Oh, do a test run.
Well, no, we can test it because like as we're getting closer to the ambush itself, because obviously if it doesn't work, or if it's not effective from Lullabye's perspective, then
I thought I was
trust the invisibility. Like,
well, I thought I'll try it now, and if you guys don't think it's good enough, then we know what we need to do. So,
we'll do it anytime we want.
yeah, well, it says duration 1 hour, it doesn't say any sort of downtime on it, so...
Okay, it's not limited time per day or anything like that.
The item didn't say that, but
Okay, and Corridor's happy to go with that if it's fair, because Corridor was assuming, okay, I can make it thing, it'll have limitations, obviously.
let me just double check the hat just to be safe. I'll be safe.
No, that's perfectly appropriate for Sparky to say, yeah, look, I can do this. But no, I can't do it now at the time we need it.
Let's see if it has a cooldown. Once per day. Okay.
That's what I was just laughing at.
So, well, is Sparky aware that it's a once per day?
Yes, but he gets identified, so yeah.
Okay. So, in which case, yes. Perhaps
The player didn't write down his character.
No, that's right. Perhaps Sparky will be happy to do it.
Martin, sorry to interrupt you.
All good.
Can you, there's an ability that I want to use that I haven't used before, and I'm not really in a place to read the entirety of it.
Yep.
Source of Rituals, Infernal Pact.
Infernal Pact.
Yeah.
I believe that's in the bestiary.
Ah, damn.
Hey, at least I remembered where it was.
Yeah.
So no, it's not in the main book.
Okay.
So it takes 1 day to cast.
It does take 1 day to cast?
It does. Most rituals take a long time to cast.
Do we have time?
Not for a day to cast, no. We've potentially got a few hours, but
That's okay. That's alright, we'll still they won't make it as scary, but it'll still be concerning.
yep, that's right. Well, I mean, and like certainly the way Corridor was hearing it, he was basically assuming that, oh yeah, you're going to summon a few illusionary devils or something or type stuff and possibly throw off some fireworks.
No, I was going to summon genuine devils. And the spell could have backfired really hard too.
As I said, I was pretty confident what was going to happen, but Corridor interpreted, oh yeah, he'll do a couple of illusions, a bit of fireworks.
Yeah, right, so Beleth looks to his two ravens on his shoulders and says, I don't care. Animals, orcs, but no humans, elves, halflings, gnomes, none of the good people. But collect me as many eyes as you can in the next hour. Not from the camp.
And so, not from the camp?
Yeah.
Or from the camp?
Not from the camp.
They say, you're not in the camp.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully there's implications not from the party either, but hey.
Not me or the party. Go and fetch eyes. It's what you're good at. Show me how good you are.
Okay, so, as you've asked them, so just confirming, you didn't want them to get eyes from the people in the camp?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so they start flying north.
Nope.
I'm assuming that was all a private conversation between Galath and his familiars.
Correct.
So you get from them that they're heading towards Roderick's Cove.
So,
No consequences whatsoever.
well, particularly because you also specified not from humans, elves, dwarves, halflings, didn't you?
Probably should have thrown a dwarf in there as well, but yeah, well, no gnomes. No gnomes. I did say that.
Yeah, okay. So, I was just thinking, so technically that probably eliminates a lot of Roderick Cove's inhabitants, so that's okay.
Yeah. I also said animals. Anyway, let's see what happens.
We'll see what happens, indeed. So the intent will be then that we will break from the cold camp an hour or so before dawn to give time to go around, get up towards the hut, drop Belath off on one side, and we'll be ready to walk across the other side as dawn breaks.
Mm-hmm. So you seem to get yourself into position. You can see Belath. Did Belath want to be invisible while he moved over to his side before he attacked?
Yeah, but if she wants to, that's fine.
Okay, so she does one invisibility on you, then does one invisibility on Cordar.
Then I activate the Hat of Disguise.
Yeah, so we confer with the Hat of Disguise. He provides a worthy disguise from Lullabby's perspective.
She shrugs and says, if they attack, it doesn't work.
So I'm trying to match Lullabye's kind of clothing, assume that's the same as all the other people in the camp.
No, she had described their clothing.
Yeah,
she doesn't look like the rest of them.
I didn't know that, sorry, man. So I'll do that. Yeah. So I'll do that. So it's it just does a illusion disguise on itself, and it will last 1 hour. Takes 1 minute to activate.
Okay, just looking up the illusion spell itself to make sure I get it right. Because sometimes they provide checks.
And all the I think so. When casting counts as disguise for impersonator, we'll use deception. I get a +4 bonus on my deception checks, or get somebody that's trying to look through it.
Okay, so give me a deception check to see if you can pretend to be a road keeper.
I think it's not my best skill, but we'll find out.
Right, you don't have to hold it for long, and obviously you've got an advantage with your disguise.
Well, I have a +10. Oh, there you go. I am shocked by this.
Look at you go.
If you have a +10, normally you have a +14 due to your spell.
No, I'm +6 originally. +4.
Okay.
19 on the dice, that'll be 29 total, huh?
29, so that's the DC they have to beat to see through things.
I suspect that Lullabye takes a look over and says, it'll probably do.
Well, that's what she says. She looks over and says, if they attack you, you've done badly.
Okay.
Not that it should matter, Martin, but because we're outdoors, Cordar will use the endure elements from his sword for the day. So, okay, I'm not expecting you to have an impact on this particular combat. But
Then she turns to Perry and says, "Does the mighty wizard need help with illusions? Or does the mighty wizard wish to be a target?"
Josh.
you're on mute, Josh.
You
Good chat, Josh.
Sorry, was just having some dinner.
all good.
That's so good.
What was the question, sorry?
Does the mighty wizard wish to have an illusion cast on him, or does the mighty wizard wish to be a pincushion target?
Or as they come in as a secondary target after the combat gets underway.
I'll take the illusion.
Okay. She touches you and you vanish from sight.
Yay!
No one can see how buff you are.
Doesn't matter. They'll feel how buff I am eventually.
You don't have to see the buffness, you can feel the buffness. There you go.
And you don't notice one of your necklaces is now missing.
Great.
Hey, she's your friend.
I know.
Hey, look, you're wearing bling, and she's just turned you invisible, so you won't notice for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Now, just confirming from me, Martin, as well, so invisibility for this has no effect on sound, does it?
It does not.
Okay. Cordar will just be wearing his covered leather, then he won't go with the half plate. So,
And her pickpockets roll was in the 30s. So I believe it exceeded your passive perception.
I don't think that many people are going to notice that.
Okay, so you walk yourself down to following Lullabby as she greets people on the way down.
Lullabby and Random Roadkeep at 3.
And Random Moonkeeper 3, yes.
Yes.
I just nod, I'm not saying anything, just nodding the whole time.
Because your illusion doesn't continue to your voice, so you will sound like a dwarf if you
I'm
speak.
fully aware, I've thought about this, Martin. Once.
And so, yeah, so the intent will be that Lullabby is going to get us in close, and Cordar will take the opposite side of Mother Night Rush to where Sparky goes. Since Sparky can't see Cordar, but Cordar can see Sparky. So.
Alright, so I need to describe what I do. I'm just on a bit of a timeline here. I've got a little bit of it down. So, are you guys ready to start the combat?
We are ready.
Okay. Alright, so Belloc is invisible. Fantastic. He's going to get probably like, is there a clearing outside of the camp?
There is. The camp has a clearing of about 150 feet around it.
So you're approximately 150 feet away from the campsite. If you're on the forest edge of the clearing, and basically you're in a position to see Lullabby and Random Roadkeeper 3 walking in from the other side with the intent of when they start talking to.
Can I interrupt you, sir? I just need to get going. Okay, so Bellas in stack.
What was that? Bella?
Are the rated that?
No. Closest people in the direction away from the campsite is at least 2 days' flight.
Oh, you know I said be gone for an hour, right?
Oh, well, in that case, they're back in an hour and they don't actually have any eyes, unfortunately.
They didn't find any animal eyes or anything like us.
Not in an hour's flight because the road keepers have pretty much removed all game in the region.
No, that's okay. He looks to the camp and says, "Haste." and shoos them off towards the camp for them to go and find some delicious eyes. He takes a few steps forward, casts Prestidigitation. Instead of light, it is the opposite of light, just darkness surrounding his head.
Yep.
His invisible head, so there is just darkness at the moment. And he calls out using Intimidate, which I will do now. Hang on.
I am the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Plus.
Which one are you?
I was just wondering, is he calling out? I am the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Exactly, calling out. I'm here for your souls.
Alright, I'll take that roll of 18. Which brings it up to a 30 in total of intimidation, and he calls out in the deepest, evilest, most abyssal voice, you who rest in these lands, your death is here. Darkness has arrived. I will feast on your souls and make you all sightless. The only thing that shall remain is the brutal, belittled, deathly desiccated husk of your bodies. Hopefully that gets someone's attention.
And as your voice finishes, you see a puppy in front of you burst into flame as he starts running at them and getting bigger and bigger.
Baby! He's back! Okay.
And either side of him are two boars almost as tall as you are, with red glowing eyes, and they are basically three of them together charging towards the campsite.
Cool. And a flaming sphere is also following them as well.
Okay, so what else do you expect to do in combat if you're going to be away from audio for a little bit?
No, I'll be there. I will be on. I just needed to do that while I had a brief couple of minutes. I will be participating. It's just that there are a few too many words that I can't use well in public.
Oh, good. Okay, so you see what appears to be a demonic giant dog followed by two demonic boars come charging towards the campsite as everyone looks at them after hearing this horrendous voice.
And I'm assuming that this was, it was as Balath saw Lullabby from the other side, but had the rest of the campsite seen Lullabby walking in yet? And Lullabby and Roadkeeper around the tree?
They were just about to when that happened.
Yep, okay.
So now you have initiative. Roll initiative.
Cornell was a bit surprised at Bella's effectiveness.
Holy shit, so is Bella. 25.
It's perception, isn't it? Well, in fact, it could be stealth, wouldn't it?
Can be
Cornell?
stealth.
I have a question, Ivan.
Yep.
What deception act as a initiative or not?
You
really?
can use your deception as an initiative, yes.
Yep, you can use deception because you're being deceiving at the moment. But yeah, so it'd be stealth for Cordar being invisible. Is there a bonus for invisibility on stealth?
Quite possibly.
But it's 11 as a base, whatever, plus whatever invisibility might give. I will look it up. While Harry works out his initiative and Lullabby works out her initiative.
Yep. I'll go 26 1.
So it's undetected to all creatures. It doesn't actually give you a...
Yeah.
I think invisibility is actually stronger.
Yeah, you count it, but it's the unaware type stuff automatically, so... But in which case then it's still going to be just a 11 for initiative then on when he actually acts. But,
Okay. So yes, what was Parry's initiative? And what was Sparky's initiative?
26 for Sparky.
Or Sparky might want to wait till Cordar reveals himself, so he's got the flanking effect.
21 for Parry.
And what was Cordar's?
11.
With your plus 10?
Well, if it was, I had a base plus 8 for stealth, and I rolled a 3, so if it get an extra bit for the initiative, then it makes it 13, but yeah.
No, it sounds about right for Cordar's rolling.
Yeah, that's right, I said, Cordar would be surprised at just how impressive that sounded.
Just making sure I write down things correctly so I remember who's who. Okay, so apparently Sparky is quick off the mark. Does Sparky wish to wait to see what happens? As you hear the horrid voice and the the three infernal creatures.
Yeah. How far away is the mother from me at the moment? Was she right next to me, or?
I'd say the mother would be probably about 10-20 feet from you, so you could easily sidle up to her as a move.
Yeah, because if I get a whirl, I can get her flat-footed for you, Jeremy, that's all.
Well, okay, well, the point is, in fact, presumably, because you're acting first, you'll actually already get the effect of any flanking type stuff anyway, except block as opposed to hit, so
yeah, no,
you'll certainly get your sneak attack type stuff, so...
Yeah. Oh, look, I'll move up to her and then attempt to stab her, so...
Okay.
So... I've done this for a while.
Obviously, yes, you've presumably got all the, you get your sneak attack, because you're catching her by surprise, I expect.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's caught I feel better, he's not the one attacking first.
That's a 20. Okay.
A 20 hits because she's not expecting it.
Okay, so... I get to use my sneak attack dice for the first time. I don't think I've ever got to go first before.
Well, it's actually you're going to use sneak attack for the first time on one occasion when you weren't sneaking.
I know.
You're being otherwise not sneaking.
Okay, cool. So, 13 points of... I think it's slashing, isn't it? Dagger? Slashing?
It's piercing.
Piercing, yeah.
Piercing, not slashing off sometimes, but...
Yeah. Piercing magical damage, yeah.
Okay, you stab her once. So that's your second action? What you do with your third action?
I'm gonna stab her again with the other dagger. So, and that'll be a -4 because it's agile weapons.
That is correct.
That's a great roll. 14, what's 15. Probably misses that.
Okay, because again she hasn't acted, that hits.
Oh, that's it? Okay. And I don't second sneak attack, it's only once. So, that's 9 points of damage.
Okay, so 2 quick stabs and you've hit Mother Night Rush. Then Balath is now up, who casts his flaming sphere and starts sending it down towards them. How many times can you move it in a round?
Hang on, sister.
Did you add your sneak attack both times, Mark?
I thought I'd only add it once.
No, Pathfinder, anytime they're flat-footed.
Oh, okay. So I add extra 1 point damage, Mark. Sorry, Mark. Apologise. I thought it was only once thing.
5E is once only. But it's quite easy to get. 5E is once only.
Yeah, right,
So it's quite easy to get
I
it
had to
confused.
catch myself thinking, hang on, I know one of them can be timed, but I couldn't move it. And do you leave any conditions on?
We'll start running in, but the sphere can be any square within range of 30 feet, so he'll be running and the sphere will be moving ahead of him.
Okay, you see the ball of flame come up behind the others heading into camp. It looks like it will reach camp next round. That brings us to parry. What does the buffest wizard known to man wish to do?
The invisible buff. You there, Josh? You're on mute.
Sorry, Mordrin on. I'm assuming. So Sparky's hit something, and Barath is shot a very angry ball of whatever down towards him. Harry's just going to stay invisible and wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I hit the mother, by the way, Barry, so
Oh,
yeah, I've gone up and rushed her and stabbed her.
Then Cordar is now up. What does Cordar wish to do?
Well, Cordar will move up on the other side of Sparky onto Mother Night Rush.
You flank Mother Night Rush with
And
one move.
Swing his big bastard sword at her very hard. Hopefully. He'll be going two-handed because he was saying without the shield while I was here, so 18 on the die, so that gets an AC 32.
That is a critical hit.
That didn't count any flanking type effect, but what am I? 32, 2d8 plus 4. 2d8 plus 4 is 8, 12. It's just double damage, isn't it? Because it's a critical hit. It's not quite critical, yes. So, what to say, 12, 24, and 3 points of persistent fire damage. Magical slashing.
Okay.
She's still up.
She's still up.
Okay, I will take another slash. Oh, actually, just remembered, sorry. I rolled d8s instead of d12s. So in fact it was 15, 19, 38 points rather than the 24.
So 38.
Points of fire. So she's still up?
Just.
Okay, I don't think she's going to survive the second blow. Because it's a natural 20.
Okay, so how would you like to have your natural 20 finish the job?
So, we'll just do the decapitation, the execution, and
How tall is the mother compared to Sparky, just so?
About the same height.
I just want to make sure my head doesn't get touched on the way through.
Not sure what's coming through on your end, David.
you accidentally come unmuted. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so yes, so you decapitate. Sparky basically has her daggers ready and then finds the head resting on her daggers as the body crumbles in front of her.
I go, nice work, Cordar.
And then Cordar will basically have his flaming sword active, and he'll be ready to call out for the surrender of everyone else. With fire coming from the other side and fire behind them, then that was his 3 actions. So.
Okay. So as you do your mighty sweep and stance, you see 2 of the support guys are in the middle of throwing their plates down to look like get their swords ready as a flaming wolf jumps out and rips its throat out. And then right behind it you see 2 more of the road keepers get trampled by a giant boar just rushing through the campsite, and then another one comes rushing through the campsite taking out 1 more.
Cord, I think they're not very illusionary.
Martin, can I have a roll of cool and action interrupt, please?
You can.
Alright. Olaf screams at the top of his deathly lungs, "Look upon your mother, she is dead. Slain by my minions is only a fraction of my great power. Flee if you value your lives." Hello.
Okay. And with a natural 1 on their morale check.
That's what I'm going. Yep. I was hoping it was on their morale and not on Bella's intimidate. But I think that even if it wasn't intimidate, they'd probably still be successful.
And as he says that, he casts flaming hands into the air.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, okay, so they haven't done well in their morale, so.
And you see them start running in different directions away from flaming, crushing creatures and people. You can hear them screaming even 10 minutes after they've left the campsite.
Approximately how many were actually around the campsite?
There was about 15 of them to begin with, but only about 8 of them managed to flee the campsite.
No, that's right, but the aspect is that means that like effectively all of them that were likely to be present. So,
Belloc just walks into the camp, sits down at an area with food, and just starts eating.
And I'll go, Harry, you can come out now. And I look at Bella, Corda, do we need to keep the head?
Corda was about to say, I'll collect the head and bag it, so therefore it's proof.
I hold my dagger up to go.
So basically, yeah, he'll wrap it up into canvas or burlap or something like that, and then chuck it in the sack and chuck it in his pouch.
I assume Lullabby is just sitting right next to us, or standing right next to us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suggesting don't eat the food, don't touch the stew.
She does suggest that, but she sort of shrugs when Balif just starts chowing down.
Actually, no, sorry, I'm going to change that slightly. Balif casts enhanced victuals on the food, and a great feast appears before you all. He gestures to the food and says, "Well, you may as well have something to eat while we're here." You do notice, though, that ordinarily he would probably be telling you just how awesome he is. He doesn't do that.
No, okay.
He kind of looks bored.
Corda, I think, maybe this human business actually, I'm getting the hang of it now. Based on how he went with the sword.
I'll ask Lullabby, I say, now that this is done, what are you going to do now? I ask.
Probably return to her home in Riddleport.
Okay.
Well, are you proposing something else?
Well, and I'm going to, I'll talk to Parry, because Parry's the one that was originally here. Didn't we have to kill the other groups, or just this group?
Well, we have to eliminate all 3 groups, but whether that involved killing all, Okay, we went for the road wardens, the road keepers, because they appear to be the ones that were the most likely to be killed rather than otherwise affected. But do we have? Is there likely to be any more of them down in the under levels of the house?
Well, if you carry the mother's head with you, you're sure you can convince them to surrender.
Okay.
Do that. I was just going to suggest to her. Is it a her? Isn't it? Is that right, Martin? Or?
Yes.
Lullabby is a her. As is Sparky.
Very definitely female.
Just making sure. I'm just making sure this time. If she would like to just join us for our other two, with the other two kind of standard groups, if she would just like to join us, then head back. I wouldn't say we wouldn't mind her help if she's available, or if she wants to head back, I understand. I just thought I'd offer.
Certainly her knowledge.
Guys, seriously, try the roast boar. It's delicious.
Lullabby sits down and tries some.
Continuing down the eliminating all the road keepers first. So he's actually gone for heading down into the thing. But also, yes, he would quite happily suggest when talking for, like Sparky suggesting to Lullabby to hang around, that her knowledge and intelligence of Roderick's Cove will certainly be advantageous, especially considering what we get from the apparent other party members.
Shots fired.
Wow. Yes, I'll come down. I'll go join you downstairs as well there, Cordo, just to make sure everything's cleared out. So.
Well, that gives a big jointed meat to Whiz Flamey Puppy, because he's such a good boy.
The puppy seems extremely happy, and the entire table shakes as Poppy has the food.
Was there anything actually left on?
No, I missed you, buddy.
On Mother Nightwatch's body?
There was quite a bit left on her.
So, obviously, we will search the body at some point. I'm happy that happens after we've cleared out the under the ground, particularly since it appears that Ballard is quite happy to sit and have some feast with the pets while we do that. So.
As you enter, you see a very bare room, except for a pallet of blankets nestled in the corner near a burning candle set in a silver holder. You see a few books stacked next to the candle, and a set of crumbled stairs lead to what should be the upper stories, but there is a thatched cover over where the stairs go.
Well, the I mean, I think it's marked. Is there supposed to be a secret door down the stairs? But
there is a secret set of there is a secret door.
Lullabby had told us as part of the process.
Yeah.
Correct. We will go and clear that factory of the east block that goes through there and go downstairs.
Does Perry go for the books and the shinies?
Still on mute, Josh.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what's going on?
They have killed Mother Nightrush.
Yep.
And they just found her bedroom with a silver candlestick and a pile of books.
Ooh, books.
And they were going to go through a secret door and go further into the place. And I was asking if Harry would go through the shiny and go for the shiny in the books.
Harry gets distracted before we go down. While we just go down.
Books. Must learn.
Okay, so
Anything.
the silver candlestick, picking it up, it's actually got your family stamp on the bottom of it.
Oh.
At some time or other, it was commissioned by your family.
Huh. Lovely.
So it is a hotter candlestick. and you see 3 books next to it. One is a collection of Varisian fables. Another is a guide with illustrations to various plants about how to do herbal remedies. And the third one is has 24 bawdy stories with rude pictures to go with it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Amusingly, that is pretty much how it's described.
Yep, that'll certainly keep Harry occupied for a little while.
Harry will stash those books away.
I'm going to be away for about 10 minutes. If you need to roll any trap checks or anything, it's a +12 for me. So.
Okay.
Also on that, Martin, I'm a bit exhausted and my heart rate is shot up and won't come back down, so I need to go lay in bed.
Okie dokie, you rest up.
Will do. I'll see you around.
Have a good night.
Yep.
So yes, looks like it is Corda going down by himself.
Well, Corda and Sparky are heading down. So, as I say, if there are any traps to check for, then it's got +12. But yeah, Corda's main thought is working on the idea that Lullabby had talked about where people were likely located and what they were likely doing, and hopefully, if there are traps to find, she mentioned what they were likely to be.
Would you actually like some Bella to come in?
Happy for Ballard to come down, but obviously I was also thinking that Ballard was keen to have breakfast, but Corda wanted to finish the job before he was having breakfast. So
He's already had a few mouthfuls. He'll wander over.
all good.
There's plenty there now.
But yeah, so Corda's main thought was basically he's got sword in one hand, he'll have the witch's hand in his other. If you're prepared to use the sword one-handed, and as long as there's room enough for it's not the things aren't too flammable in there. He'll have the sword alight as he's going down there, so he's got the effect of the light from the sword as he talks light.
So as you
and also be more impressive and concerning about the idea of anyone I meet. Time to run or give up, your choice.
well, Perry does have a candlestick to read by.
Yes, that's what I understand. Well, he's also upstairs, so he can probably take the book, look through a window or something, can't he? If there's a window in the place, but... Yeah.
Okay, so as you go down, the stairs go down 80 feet.
Okay.
So at each 20 feet down, there's a landing with a lantern.
Right.
And when you finally reach the bottom, the area to E4 is boarded up with a empty silver saucer in front of the door with a few breadcrumbs on it.
As we're going down, Bella knocks the heel of his staff against the ground and starts creating light.
Okay. Did Lullabby say anything about a barricaded room?
She says Mother Nightrush keeps her treasures in there, but no one else goes in there.
Okay. From Corda's perspective then, that's not likely to have any road keepers in it, so he's happy to keep any other exits from this room?
There is an exit to the south.
Okay, we've got the map there, I can see, so yeah, he'll be aiming for heading towards the south, so towards, what is it, E5?
It is E5. So this nice room looks like it's in better days, but it's still in very good condition. Looks like it's been upkept by the people here, and has a set of stairs going down into E6.
Okay. Corda, assuming there's no one in E5, he will keep moving down towards E6. He's aiming to be moving relatively quickly. on the idea of we're maintaining the surprise factor on any road keepers, and so when he does meet them, I'll see the fact that he's got the head of the witch already. So
Yeah, a lantern near the set of stairs leading down into darkness is down here. On the north wall opposite the stairs is a statue carved from red stone that depicts a woman with wild hair and a face set in a sneer holding a clenched fist in front of her. And 4 smooth columns hold the ceiling above, and you do recognize the statue as the God of Wrath.
okay, because we've come across that a few times already, haven't we? 'Cause
You have.
at the very least in the Godmouth Heresy, and I think we could also Wrath down at the bottom underneath the crow.
It was also Wrath underneath the crow.
Yeah. Okay. Any people in here?
There are none here,
Just Sparky. Sparky's back.
but there is a pile of playing cards and what appears to be wages set up.
Okay.
You think they were upstairs eating?
That's right. It looks like they've already had, but they left their game partway through to go and have breakfast.
You roughly count about 100 odd coppers on the floor.
Cordar will be aiming to keep going down the stairs, is it?
Yep, down the stairs.
Oh, you said coins button, did you?
Yep, about 100 copper coins.
As soon as Sparky starts to stop to get him, Cordar saying, "We're coming back this way. We're just clearing out first."
Okay. With a disgruntled. Okay.
Well, considering the fact, I don't know whether you were there or not, but at the time, but we've already gone past that barricaded room that got described as being the treasure room. So,
Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep following, but on the way back, I'll note the coins.
Yep.
So if you see on the screen, room E4, it's a treasure room.
yeah.
Oh, it's. Ooh.
But like I say, we're coming back by that way, so that's why Cordar, he said, okay, there's not going to be a roadkeeper protected behind there, because that's Mother's own space, according to what Lullabby told us.
Okay.
So we'll continue down the stairs.
You come down, 3 marble columns still hold this roof in place. One of them seems to have collapsed. And partly blocking the way out that way. And sitting here playing some sort of card game, you see 4 more of the road keepers.
So,
They sort of look up in your direction in confusion and then in horror.
Greetings! You are disbanded or arrested? Your choice. Holding up the head of Mother Nightrush and flaming sword in the other hand.
Can I help with his intimidation by doing a creepy smile?
You can do a creepy smile.
I do a creepy dwarf smile, a female dwarf smile.
Except it's a creepy road keeper smile.
On a related note, you may notice Bella smiling and with also a creepy smile, but it's actually in admiration of Cordar and that really cool line of "you are disbanded" or whatever, or arrested. That was really cool.
Something's certainly going wrong with the world.
Yeah.
They put their hands up and go, we'll leave.
I do tell them to any coins, drop on the way out.
Any further of you guys down here?
They said there should only be about 2 or 3.
Bella looks to them, points to a corner of the landing, and says, "Sit."
I thought he said we could go.
Shit.
They sit.
And he whistles for a puppy.
Okay, you see Puppy appear and lunge at one.
No.
He stops about an inch from the guy's face.
If they try and leave, you can eat them. But don't eat them if they stay here, okay?
Yeah, you see him start growling and pawing and mock charging them.
Good boy.
I love this country.
I would suggest that you stay here.
I'm starting to like this hellhound more and more now, by the way.
Oh, he's such a good boy. He is the bestest boy ever.
He is.
Yeah. Anyway, gestures to corner. Leon.
I'm assuming that we've got down into F11, have we?
You have. That was in F11.
Okay, yep. Well, Cordo has continued to move on towards the door on the opposite side. Did they indicate exactly where the other two might be?
At F8.
At F8, okay. So in that case then, we basically go through the doorway, take a look both directions, but then head towards F8.
Well, you see two standing just out there.
Okay. In which case then, you'll be giving them the same information. The idea of you are disbanded or arrested. Your choice. I would suggest joining your friends who are just waiting next door.
That they hold up their hands and go, sure, we want no trouble.
Yeah, Bella will escort them because he guarantees they're going to get eaten if they show up.
Right, so you can then, look at the map, but you can certainly be there to still be escorting them in to talk to Puppy.
Yep.
So, as they start to walk past Corda with their hands up, okay. Any more of you down here?
Just the dwarf.
In the next room?
In the next room, yes. We're pointing to F13.
Yeah. Are the doors open at the moment or closed?
They're currently shut.
Okay.
Bella feeds Puppy some jerky and comes back.
Corda will walk up to the doors and open the doors.
Okay, inside you see what appears to be a dwarf with a bushy red beard and lots of keys hanging from the beard.
Out of character, is this one of the guys that we have to kill?
No, this is the a friend of this is another Pathfinder friend of Lullabby. We said Corda will holding up the head of Mother Nightlash. So did Lullabby give his name amongst the?
Yes, as Dollard Regilor.
Dollard Regilor. Okay.
Such a guy.
Okay, that's actually a name that I recognise, isn't it? Oh yes, Dollard Regilor. That was one of the few pieces of information we actually got out of the others. Apparently led the way to the braces or gauntlets, whatever. That's right.
Yeah. I would ask his name in Dwarven. See if I get
as Corda walking in, he's saying, Dollard Reginald, I believe.
He says, yes, I'm not sure who that roadkeeper is with you, but their accent is terrible.
Indeed, that's right. The Lullabby Vancaskerkin is upstairs at the moment. Seemingly your role here as your deception here is no longer required. The roadkeepers have been disbanded.
In which case I can finally go home.
And about now, Martin, I'll get rid of my illusion. Because I don't think I need it anymore. So.
Which is quite amusing because you've been going down as a roadkeeper.
Yeah. I know.
I would have thought that was perfectly appropriate, because that way, if any of the roadkeepers that were just attacked or captured, are allowed to disband, decide to have retribution, they don't know what Sparky looks like.
Yes, I'm
that is correct.
Yeah, but no, I'll take it off by now. It's like, if the dwarf thinks I'm a bit strange, I go, oh, okay. And turn into my female dwarven self, do the whole flurry of the hair at the same time.
Okay, give me a charm roll. Do we have charm in this one?
Oh god, that's not going to be good for my dwarf. Charm. What's charm?
Society?
Performance? Diplomacy?
That's like charisma check, perhaps.
All of them are +6, so I just can go with it, man, if you want. So.
Roll the dice, see what happens.
Roll the dice and see.
I got 15 total.
15 total?
Like 15 with the +6, you mean?
Yeah, +6, yeah. With the +6, yeah.
He pauses for a moment, looks at you, shrugs and goes, oh well.
Rejected. Poor Sparky. Oh, no.
By a redhead, no less.
I'm back in my old truck. There's something really important that I need to do. Not so much better. No, sorry. Don't.
So okay, just gonna.
I expect the best thing about it is it's comfortable.
Oh, it's infinitely better than the last time I was driving. But anyway, that is yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so Dollard is keen to get back home again. Before you leave, did we get a description of this room itself?
Yep. He will walk you through all the different rooms.
Okay.
They finally made it back down to the place where you were with the dwarf with the.
Nice. And what, I've got 312 days to live. There you go. That's my contribution for today.
Well, 311 now.
Oh, 311. Oh,
They spent a day getting there.
Oh, okay, fine.
And Doozer missed out on the combat.
Oh, boo. That sucks.
Well,
It wasn't much combat.
I was going to say, depending upon Duke's initiative, you may have been there and still not done anything.
Unfortunately, Josh had to retire early. He wasn't feeling well. So yes, you pretty much get a rundown of the vault from the dwarf, which I might do next session for you guys. We'll finish up early today.
Yep.
That way you've got enough time to describe what's there, what you distribute amongst yourselves.
Yep. That sounds good, Martin.
But yes, you have now taken control of the Aslantis Armory.
Nice.
That sounds good.
Before we finish up, Bellat goes back to the seated individuals, leans down and says, you know, a number of weeks ago, before a certain event happened, I would have killed you all and fed you to my dog. He waits for a response, waits for their reaction.
One of them faints. Most of them turn white.
But you see, something happened. It didn't make me more charitable or more kind, but it did make me a little more honest. But you see, my friend told you that you could leave, and I will allow you to leave. But there is a price you must pay. He calls his ravens.
Yep.
Just one, my friends, and then they may leave.
Okay, so one of your ravens turns itself into a rat and goes up the leg of one of them, and he starts screaming.
Yep.
I'm assuming this is happening while Dollard is leading Cordar around the rest of the facility.
Yep. You hear screaming coming from somewhere nearby. And the other one springs many legs and starts leaping on them.
Go. Let it be known that the kindness of your lives was given to you by Bellant the Just.
So each of your imps took out one person each.
Yeah, you know what? Fine. I was going for eyes, but I didn't specify.
And like any lawyer, they lawyered you.
Yeah, Bellant's okay with that. But yeah, no, he says Bellant the Just. Your lives are given to you by Bellant the Just.
The other four start running up the stairs.
Have a great day. He does look to his horrifying devilish creatures and says, hurry them along, don't hurt them, but make sure they continue on their journey away from us.
They both turn into horrific sized boars and start chasing after them.
Jesus Christ.
And yes, this is the Pathfinder Imp and how the Pathfinder Imps played.
I'm okay with it.
If in doubt, send in Bellat and pets.
Well, I told you I was going to create a distraction.
You did a very good distraction, I think.
Yeah.
Perfect distraction.
Cord, I was thinking they were mighty realistic illusions.
Sorry to burst the bubble, Cord. dealing with someone who is legitimately dealing with devils.
And just think if you had given him that extra day to prepare, what he might have brought to the party.
That would have been so bad.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Go ahead. I was going to say, if that might be a good point for us to stop.
Indeed. I was going to say was, okay, if Corda heard the screams while getting the tour from Dollard, then he would aim to check with Dollard as to whether there was anyone else down here or any other issue where the screams might be a thing.
Seems like they might have come across the undead spirit down here.
Valak looks to Puppy and says, turn those two up if you could, please.
Okay, Puppy's happily tail wagging along as he starts whiffing them down piece by piece.
Yay! And I'm done.
So, well, okay, if Dollard mentions the idea of an undead spirit type stuff is that something we should be aware of or concerned about at this stage?
So maybe with a bit of help you can put it to rest.
Okay. We will get settled and work out what we're looking at and
do it.
deal with that later.
Yeah.
And so obviously, yeah, so that potentially gives enough time that when Corda returns back towards F11 and discovers that all the prisoners have left, he'll assume that, okay, I'll obviously allowed them to go. Probably.
There is a horrible mess on the stairwell where the prisoners were.
Bloody mess?
Yep.
Or...
And a bit crunchy in places too.
Okay. Corda, we'll see if we get to take a look at if Barra's still around at that moment in time, or if he already moved upstairs. But either way, Corda will aim to at least look and see how much remains, if there were likely to be six people remains there originally, or...
There's half a shoe left.
Right. Corda will check with Bella as to what happened when we get back upstairs. So, but otherwise, we will aim to collect all the treasures and bits and pieces that we're going through. I'm guessing we'll have to deal with Ghost and any other bits and pieces on the next session.
You will. And then you get to divide your spoils and figure out what you're going to do with this Thassilonian landmark that no one else knows about now.
Yep. So, another outpost of Wrath.
The goddess of Wrath.
Certainly one thing we'll be doing ensuring that we do document appropriately and we spend at least a day initially get plans to send back to a Pathfinder Society, although I'm guessing that Dollard has probably already covered all the details we needed for the Pathfinder Society. So.
Yeah, he's got quite a few volumes that he's been collecting because he says there's a wealth of knowledge here.
Well, I expect that potentially the Society will be keen to document this further. I wouldn't be surprised if they call upon you as the expert, but I understand you want to get home. So. But anyway, that will be something for the Society to deal with in the future.
Yep.
He agrees.
Victor did get back to me. He's actually working because he's going to watch the World Cup game. So.
Yeah, he mentioned that to me as well, that he was busy, caught up with work. He had to start early because of the soccer.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad to see some things take priority over work, aside from role playing.
Well, he says from now on he should be fine to make the games. I just got confused which day he was fine to make the games from.
I was going to say, because now they're starting at stupid o'clock for him, or stupid o'clock as opposed to stupid o'clock.
He's made arrangements so he shouldn't miss any further.
Right. Oh, that'll be good.
And Jeremy, look, yes, he is Brazilian. There are certain things that must happen.
Absolutely. And then, I'm sure when it comes to football, as far as work's concerned, football comes first.
Hey, good night, everyone.
Thanks very much, Martin. We'll see you on Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday.
Likewise, everyone else. See you next time.
Okay,
Thank you very
cheers.
much. Bye for now.
Bye.
To be honest.